This is the Samsung S24 Ultra. And this is the Samsung S21 Ultra, a phone that was released 4 years ago. And right now, you can buy the S21 Ultra for 3 times less. In this video, we'll compare the photo and video capabilities of these two smartphones. So shall we get started? Hey friends, this video was translated using AI, so the sound quality isn't the best. If you want to listen to the original sound from the smartphones and hear the audio recording test, just follow the link to our original video in the description. But before we get to the tests, let's quickly go over the cameras. The S24 Ultra has a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens, a 200-megapixel main camera, and 2 telephoto lenses at 50 and 10 megapixels, respectively. And the last module is a depth sensor with laser AF. The selfie camera here is the same as in the previous generation, 12 megapixels. The S21 Ultra, in turn, has a 40-megapixel front camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens, a 108-megapixel main camera, 2 10-megapixel telephoto lenses, and the same laser depth sensor. First of all, we're going to test the selfie camera. When I activate the selfie camera, I immediately notice something odd. The Samsung S21 Ultra screen is clearly brighter than the S24 Ultras, which, of course, is really strange considering this one has a new screen. I set all the camera and screen settings to be exactly the same on both devices. And honestly, this is already the first really strange thing. Right now, I've activated selfie mode 4K at 60 frames per second on the front camera. I'm currently filming in portrait mode, then I'll switch and shoot in landscape mode, and we'll see if there's any difference. Dubai Harbor, beautiful views in the background. We're recording, checking how the camera microphones work. The sun is shining beautifully on the left. There you go. And now we're doing this thing. Let's see how the cameras handle it when the sun is shining brightly from behind, overexposing me, and basically, well, judging by what I see on the screen. Like I said, the S21 Ultra screen is brighter. You can see more details on this display. The only thing is, on the Samsung S24 Ultra, HDR10 Plus is enabled. Here on the little screen, you can see this HDR10 Plus indicator. On the Samsung S21 Ultra, this indicator, this display, isn't there. Now let's test the stabilization in selfie mode, shooting in this kind of vertical format. Let's go. Overall, it's comfortable and easy to hold. Let's see which camera performs better. And I'm holding the cameras at arm's length. Now I'm shooting against the sun. Overall, the shooting conditions are good. There's plenty of light, switching hands, and let's see from this side. We've moved a bit into the shade, and now the sun isn't hitting the screen. And right now, the S24 Ultra looks more interesting. And it seems to me that the screen on the S24 Ultra now looks much better. Although the S21 Ultra isn't bad either, those reflections seem a bit distracting to me. Now let's do a test of the selfie cameras in horizontal mode. Let's go. And interestingly, now that I'm walking this way, I actually like the picture on the S24 Ultra much more. The screen just delivers the image perfectly. And on the S21 Ultra, the screen protector is really getting in the way. We're checking the sound quality, looking at the image quality, and the stabilization quality. I'm holding the phones at arm's length. But honestly, I can say right now, in this sunlight, for some reason I like the picture more. The image on the S24 Ultra looks better than S21 Ultra. Now I'm turning the phone against the sun, so the sun is really strong. There, it's hitting the frame. And now, I really like the image on the S24 Ultra. Of course, the sun is blown out, I mean the sky, but you can still make something out. Look for silhouettes, like the Dubai Eye, the Ferris wheel. We started recording video, and now we're off to test the active mode. Let's check the stabilization in horizontal shooting mode. I'm switching hands on the fly like this, and let's see how good the stabilization is. The image is being processed on these phones. Well, friends, the sun has gone down a bit, and now I like the screen on the Samsung S24 Ultra much more. Everything is much easier to see. By the way, we're shooting all the behind-the-scenes footage on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This is currently the best camera for vlog-style shooting. Now I've activated the main camera module. We're going to test each of these cameras separately now. What shooting modes do we have? Main camera module, horizontal shooting mode, and what do we see? The only difference there is that on the Samsung S21 Ultra we don't have 5x zoom. Now we're going to test wide-angle shooting. Let's go! For some mysterious reason, some videos shot with the S24 Ultra turn out overexposed. This issue showed up during the editing of the video. And here's what it looks like. At the same time, if I take a photo of the same frame from the screen, all the colors are fine, and on the phone itself, all the videos look absolutely normal. Friends, be sure to let me know in the comments if you've encountered something like this, and if you know what might be causing it. And now let's jog a little. Let's see how Samsung handles the wide-angle camera. And now I've given the camera to my lovely wife. And she's going to film the same thing, only while riding on roller skates. Now let's activate the main camera, check its quality and stabilization, and do a comparison. And now let's also go for a proper run with these cameras. Now I'm going to activate the Running Man mode. In theory, we should get some super cool stabilization. The Running Man mode worked really poorly on the Samsung Z Fold 4 and Z Fold 5. The image quality dropped significantly. And now we're going to check if we'll have the same problem on top-tier smartphones. Let's go! When enhanced stabilization is enabled, the image is cropped to 2K on the S24 Ultra and to Full HD on the S21 Ultra. Enhanced stabilization, but only on the main camera. Let's go! And now let's do the same thing. But Anya will test it on roller skates. When you activate the Running Man mode, the phone only lets you shoot with the wide-angle lens and the regular lens. Zooming in is no longer possible. Now let's test the telephoto lens. On the Samsung S24 Ultra, I can choose the zoom level right here, like 3x, 5x, or 10x. Here, it's only 3x, or I can only do it like this, for example, to get 5x. And here I just press one button, and it does digital zoom accordingly. And now, 20x zoom. And I have to say, guys, it works just amazingly. Well, at least on video, it looks really cool. So, friends, we fully tested video recording in good conditions. The lighting is perfect right now. Of course, now it's become more convenient to shoot with the Samsung S24 Ultra. That is, now while shooting on the Samsung S24 Ultra, we can zoom in on the frame. So we can go from the wide-angle lens to the telephoto lens, zooming in up to 20 times. On S21 Ultra, it's actually set up in a really strange way. I mean, I can vary from 0.6 to about 2 times zoom. Then you have to stop recording, switch to another lens, and only then can you keep zooming in. On the S24 Ultra, everything is made as convenient as possible. On the S21 Ultra, it's not like that. Now let's shoot a slow motion video and a super slow motion video. The Samsung S24 Ultra lets you shoot slow motion footage, which means 120 frames per second in 4K. Something, of course, the S21 Ultra can't do. Only full HD. Slow motion from both phones looks pretty good, but just don't try to shoot it while moving. Otherwise, you'll get a lot of shake, and unfortunately, stabilization won't save the footage here. And now, super slow motion recording. Full HD, 240 frames per second. And now we're going to do the toughest microphone test. There's some insane construction going on here. We're filming here with the DJI Mic 2, and now we're going to shoot on the front camera of these phones and record the audio directly from them. The picture is very beautiful. A major road started here. Intense road. Sound unreal. Everything is super loud. How will the microphones perform in such extremely challenging conditions? Right now, I like the picture on both phones. On the S24 Ultra, the picture is probably better, but how the microphones work is a big question. At the moment, I'm filming with the main camera module and speaking into the microphones, and I'm really curious to see how the microphones will perform. Because when we shot the review of foldable phones, the Samsung Z Fold 5 performed the best. Its microphone recorded the highest quality sound, while suppressing any noise. Of course, we didn't film there with a construction site in the background like this. Yeah, and here, it's actually really interesting to see how the smartphones will handle it. And you can also listen to the voice from our DJI Mic 2 microphone. So, I managed to catch a bit of the sunset, set up recording on my phones. It all looks really beautiful. This is what's called a hyperlapse. Basically, it's like a time-lapse, a hyperlapse, and you can shoot it with a wide lens, a regular one, or a telephoto lens. It's already completely dark, and now we'll try to shoot all the same shots, but this time in this kind of lighting, with artificial light. Right now, I've activated the front camera mode and lowered the frame rate. So, usually I was shooting 4K at 60 frames per second, but now I'm doing 4K at 30 frames per second. At the moment, I like the image on the S24 Ultra, but on the S21 Ultra, the lighting is kind of weird. For example, on this bright sign, the way it looks is kind of odd. There's nothing like that on the S24 Ultra. This is what it looks like. Right now there are a lot of lights here. Everything is shining on me. Well, of course, the front camera on the S24 Ultra is definitely better, and you can see that even on a small screen. Here, the picture on the S21 Ultra looks kind of, well, a bit blurry. It really seems like they installed a very basic front camera, similar to a camera that was installed on Samsung Z Fold 4 and 5. now we're shooting in 4K, 30 frames per second, using the main lens. Here's what the picture looks like. I'm just walking around, filming everything around me. Our city looks beautiful at night. This is Dubai Harbor. It's a super beautiful place. Just look at this. Such a beautiful picture. This is 4K, 30 frames per second. This is how it looks when you film yourself. Actually, we can compare it to the front camera. How great Samsung S21 Ultra's main camera is. And how bad its front camera is. Yeah, on S24 Ultra, both cameras perform really well. Okay, now I've activated the so-called running man, meaning the enhanced stabilization mode. And what do I see? Right now, on every camera, it says more light is needed for stabilization mode. Whether it's on the S24 Ultra or the S21 Ultra, this message pops up and something happens. It feels like the white balance starts jumping around a lot. This mode, this ultra stabilization, let's say the extended stabilization mode, is absolutely useless in low light conditions. Alright, now I think we'll do a quick test and see how stabilization in the front camera perform on both phones. Let's go. Right now, I'm not running very fast because I'm carrying a big backpack with my wife's rollers in it. Yeah, but I hope it'll be clear enough. Well, just off the top, of course, all front cameras shoot pretty poorly at night. The front-facing camera, unfortunately, has a rather small sensor. It can't handle this kind of camera movement with really active motion. Now I've activated the main camera, recording in 4K at 30 frames per second. I like the image on both smartphones. Honestly, everything looks really good. Let's see how it looks if I film myself now. We're checking the video recording quality on the main camera module. 4K at 30 frames per second and in low light conditions. Now let's try jogging a little. 4K at 30 frames per second. Let's go. "8K, 24 frames per second on the Samsung S21 Ultra. 8K at 30 frames per second on the Samsung S24 Ultra. Well, honestly, I really like the picture. Okay, and this is when I film myself. This is how it looks. You can also listen, how well does it pick up sound? How well does it suppress the noise of the crowd? Because there's a lot of people here. Almost like a train station or something. Right now, people are heading out on a boat for a nighttime cruise. How well do these smartphones perform in these conditions? When there are so many people here. Let's see how both smartphones handle shooting in complete darkness. It's obvious to the naked eye that the S24 is clearly 2 steps ahead here. Its image is smooth, not overwhelmed by noise, and objects and text remain fairly sharp even at 20 times zoom. Now let's compare the photo capabilities of smartphones. Now we're heading over there towards the beautiful sunset, and we're going to test the selfie camera and the main camera module for photos. Let's go. Even at 5-fold magnification, there is no significant difference between the photos at all. But then the obvious differences begin. The S21 Ultra faltered at 5x zoom, but redeemed itself at 10x zoom. The inscription is even better readable than on the S24 Ultra. 30 times zoom. Both cameras perform poorly, although the S21 Ultra once again seems a bit better. There's less noise, and the inscription is easier to read. How is that possible? As for color reproduction, I should note that Samsung phones always tend to boost the colors quite a lot. Just take a look at these sunset photos. Some people like it, some don't. It's a matter of taste. So, guys, we shot in good lighting, captured the sunsets. And what's really cool is that after the whole day of shooting, the S21 Ultra still has 25% left, and the S24 Ultra has 35%. At the start of filming, the S21 Ultra was at about 90%. So, after 3 years, the battery in this phone still holds a charge really well. The differences I found in the Samsung S24 Ultra, you can shoot at 12 megapixels, 50 megapixels, and 200 megapixels. The S21 Ultra only has 12 and 108 megapixels. Now let's take photos at such high megapixel counts and compare them. Honestly, I don't really understand the software implementation. For example, when I shoot at 12 megapixels, everything is as convenient as possible. Here I can immediately zoom in and out, switch to wide angle, 3 times zoom, 5 times, even 10 times. In other words, everything is as convenient as possible. But as soon as I set it to 50 megapixels, I can only do 1 times and 5 times zoom. On the Samsung S21 Ultra, we have the option to switch between 12 megapixel mode and 108 megapixel mode. At 108 megapixels, we can crop the image up to 6 times zoom. On the S24 Ultra, we have the option to set it to 50 megapixels or 200 megapixels. And those 200 megapixels let us zoom in up to 10 times. And you can get this kind of stunning quality at 10 times zoom with 200 megapixels. On the S21 Ultra, well, of course, the telephoto lens here isn't as good. By default, when we activate portrait mode, the image immediately goes to X3, meaning the main camera module is used. But the picture gets a bit closer. The same thing happens on the S21 Ultra, but on the S24 Ultra you can actually do a 5 times zoom. And you get this cool result, such an unusual portrait mode. This is what portrait mode with X3 zoom looks like on the S24 Ultra and the S21 Ultra. Let's take a photo. These smartphones also have a macro shooting feature, and we're going to try it now. At night, the S24 actually takes better photos than its predecessor. There's much less noise, and the lighting looks way better, especially from headlights and street lamps. The S21 Ultra doesn't always handle them well. There's really no point in zooming in a lot at night. Both phones produce unwatchable results. The S24 Ultra processes photos so aggressively to remove noise that it ends up blurring objects and text unrealistically, while the S21 Ultra, on the other hand, produces shots that are way too noisy. Well, friends, let's sum things up. I pre-ordered the Samsung S24 Ultra smartphone with 512 gigabytes in Dubai. This phone cost me $1,380 on pre-order. To be honest, the pre-order system in Dubai didn't seem to work all that well to me. I actually pre-ordered the yellow phone. I like the yellow color of the Samsung S24 Ultra, but they brought me a black one. They said, if you want the yellow one, you'll have to wait another week or 2, or maybe even 3, nobody knows for sure. But a nice bonus was that, well, the set included this backpack. It's pretty cool, actually, yeah, just by the feel of it. It's a kind of combo set, 4 in 1. Here we've got a charger, a cable, headphones, and a little bag, a power bank with a capacity of 10,000 mAh, and also an original power adapter rated at 45 watts. I think that alone is pretty good value. So all of this was included in the set absolutely free. Yeah, for pre-ordering. In the end, the S24 Ultra turned out to be almost a disappointment when it comes to cameras. The only thing I liked was the 8K 30 frames per second video. Among the smartphones currently on the market, this is probably the best 8K, even in low light conditions. Yes, in some scenarios, the Samsung S24 Ultra does outperform its predecessor. But those scenarios are very specific and are unlikely to matter much to the average user. In regular photo and video shooting, stabilization, and sound quality, the new model only has a very slight edge. Besides, even after 3 years, the S21 Ultra still impresses with its battery, which continues to hold a charge for a long time. All in all, I wouldn't recommend paying extra for the new flagship, especially if you're pinning your hopes on the camera. And by the way, that extra cost is pretty significant. Right now, you can buy a new Samsung S24 Ultra with 256GB on Amazon for about $1,000. A new S21 Ultra would be harder to find. If you consider refurbished or like new options, S21 Ultra with 256GB would cost you around $300, 3 times more expensive. Is it really worth paying that kind of markup? As for the photo and video capabilities, I'd honestly say no. I don't see any point in overpaying in buying this new S24 Ultra phone for myself. Be sure to write in the comments. Would you upgrade from the S21 Ultra to the S24 Ultra? I'm not even considering the S22 or S23 Ultra anymore, not at all, because honestly, I think they're basically the same thing. Subscribe to the channel, give it a like. And that's it, bye bye everyone.